Hello everyone, Virgo here, and I hope everybody had a great weekend and a good holiday yesterday. I missed all of you and I'm very happy to be back, and today I wanted to start with a quote that has become near and dear to my heart, especially for the last year that I've been running the Virgo Triad channel, and it is, "No good deed goes unpunished." Now, ironically enough, this particular quote came into play pretty heavily during the time that I was off. As you guys know, I took a 10-day holiday, and it was for personal reasons. Some of you are aware of those personal reasons. And for those of you that are not, we'll just say that it was an absolute necessity that I took the time off. I will tell you that during the time that I took off, I found a very interesting trend that was going on the Virgo Triad channel that I had not really seen so blatantly prior to the time being taken off. And that is that over 100 comments had been caught by the YouTube algorithm of inappropriate content in comments, meaning that over 100 comments were made that either had a curse word, a threat, or some potentially unwanted, inappropriate, possibly inappropriate content within it that I need to review before they can be released. Now, these are different than filtered comments, and that when I say filtered, I mean I have a filter on my comments because of the fact that there are so many people that will send in things that have curse words and appear to be bigoted in nature. There are many threats that we've received in the past, and as a result, there are keywords that have a filter on them that will be caught, and I will need to actually view them in order to approve them. This is different than that. This is potentially inappropriate comments caught by YouTube's own algorithm, in addition to several spam comments that were made by a party who we have spoken out against in the past. Now, let me go back to the "no good deed goes unpunished." I looked up this once again after many, many months because, as I said, this is something that I feel has kind of creeped back up again for me, and that is that I feel that the Virgo Triad channel very rarely gets a lot of thank yous. Now, we do get some thank yous. We do have very grateful people that have been informed of a scam, sometimes caught too late, unfortunately, but the majority of the time, those people are grateful for what we do. But as those of you who have been following me for the last year know, the Virgo Triad channel can be a very thankless job for those of us that do the research and actually put the truth out there. And there's a very good reason for that. This quote was originally attributed to Oscar, or most notably attributed to Oscar Wilde, and that was done in 1972 on something that he wrote back in the 1900s, early 1900. And there is a secondary person that people don't mention very much, which is Clare Boothe Luce. She was an American dramatist who coined the phrase to mean that a good deed is an intervening act, as opposed to looking the other way and just simply allowing something that's unjust to happen, thereby causing the doer of good to reap the consequences from persons affected by the act. Now, let me explain. Now, normally, the good deed doer expects just basically a thank you, which is what we ask for here on the Virgo Triad channel, and quite frequently don't even ask for that. We really just want for people to be aware. But usually someone is adversely affected by the good deed, and in this case, it's con artists that are running the scams. So, for example, saving someone's life from a criminal is a good deed, but the criminal now has reason to punish you for that act. Part of what we see coming through on these comments that are inappropriate is exactly that. It's very obvious because all of these comments kind of ring along the same lines. That some of them are even almost verbatim to one another. That there was either some video or some comment made in a blog to come over here to the Virgo Triad channel, flag the videos, and make comments that were derogatory in an attempt to try to villainize this channel, or in an attempt to try to get videos taken down and get strikes caught up so that the Virgo Triad channel will come down. As we've seen over and over again, and the main reason why I have the GoFundMe campaign for the virgotriad.com website, because we need another platform that is not as easy for these con artists to attempt to try to get taken down. Again, I want for everyone to be aware that over the 10 days that I was, the 10 business days that I was gone, plus one for the holiday, over 100 inappropriate comments caught by the YouTube algorithm. Very ugly indeed, and very clearly, because of the repetitiveness, very clearly set up. Secondarily, we have Jillian Epperly, who happens to be the owner of Jilly Juice and the owner of JillyJuice.com, who has come around and decided she is going to attempt to try to attack the Virgo Triad channel by spamming the channel on every single video that refutes what it is that she has claimed. And as you guys know who have followed Jillian Epperly, Jillian is currently being investigated in the state of Ohio. In addition to that, she has been proven to be a con artist on the Dr. Phil show, which you can look up and see on YouTube. I believe it is currently on there. Also, Jeff Holiday was there at the Dr. Phil show to debunk the claims that Jillian was making, and has made several videos about Jillian Epperly and her lies and deceit with regards to her Jilly Juice protocol, which is extremely dangerous. And you know, there are people that have come forward and have had strokes due to this. There are 4 people that have taken the protocol that have ended up dead. Again, you know, this is something that is very dangerous, something that the Virgo Triad channel covered months and months ago and has kept up with all the way up to the Dr. Phil show. And if you have not seen that show, I would encourage you to look it up so that you can take a look at it. Right now, I'm going to take you over and show you what is still sitting in the comments section so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, as you see here, there are 99 comments that are held for review. Now, again, these are not comments that I have actually held up. Those have all been released and answered. These are comments that were caught by a specific protocol within the algorithm of YouTube for inappropriate comments. I have not gone through all of them yet. I will be doing that shortly and releasing what is able to be released, but those that are threatening in nature, do not stay on topic, or are threatening to a guest, which many of them that I've seen so far are, or abusive in some manner, will not be going through. The spam that you are looking at right now are all Jillian Mai Tai protocol. Jillian Mai Tai Epperly has decided she's going to attempt to put her JillyJuice.com website and her new ebook garbage that she has on all over the Virgo Triad channel, she thinks. But YouTube's algorithm caught every single one of them, and these will be turned in and reported. Okay, we're going to be going over just a few of the comments that I want to address here, and ones that I think everybody should actually hear and pay attention to. This one popped up just a few minutes ago by Huck Finn. I challenge you to do what no lawyer, judge, or cop has done and show your factual evidence that the Constitution, codes, and laws apply to anyone. Okay, so 220 some odd videos address exactly this, Huck. and therefore I will not be writing everything out for you. It will be up to you to take a look at all of my videos, because this has already been proven. If you honestly believe that the Constitution, codes, and laws apply to no one, then I would say that probably no matter what was put in front of your face, it is not going to make a difference, because you are delusional. First, before I go into any more comments here, I want to apologize for the background noise that you are hearing. It is extremely hot where I am right now, so what you are hearing in the background is the fan from an air conditioner, and I cannot do anything about that, so I apologize for the noise. We are going to be going into this next comment here by Sweet Pea, and she has said she has it all posted for the world to read. She is referring to Anna von Reitz's website. She states here, the judge herself explains it. She isn't a liar. Sweet Pea, I am very sorry to tell you this, but she is absolutely 100% a liar. She is not a judge of any sort, never has been, and never will be. If you doubt what I'm stating to you, you can contact the Alaska Judges Division and the council themselves, and they will inform you of this exact piece of information. Common law, by the way, you need to look up also, because common law is a precedent that is set by a real judge making rulings. So therefore, this does not apply to her either. What you are referring to is called a kangaroo court, and that is exactly what kind of court that Anna von Reitz is wanting America to have. Next, we have David Gibson. They bundle the scrutinized instruments into one lot and then give the several certificates a CUSIP number that no one will ever be able to discern, like selling a herd of cattle all at one time. And then he says the CAPS system shows these certificates of birth are in fact monetized and invested and traded. I have proved it personally. No, David, you have not proved it personally. And if you think you have, please feel free to send your proof and verifiable sources to virgotriad@protonmail.com. You are absolutely, number one, either misled or simply a liar. The reason that I say this is that I have done many months, even before I started the YouTube channel, with regards to monetized birth certificates. It is a lie. It is false. It does not exist. And the CAPS system has absolutely nothing to do with it. If you indeed believe that you are being traded and invested in on the stock market, then please provide me with a ticker symbol. I would be more than happy to take a look at it, because everything that is traded on the stock market has a ticker symbol. If you cannot provide that, then you need to reinvestigate. This one I found to be rather funny, as it has been said numerous times. Arrow Medical 67 says, am I the only one who's getting a Katie Seagal vibe from this woman's voice? No, you are not the only one. There are many people that have made the statement that I sound like Katie Seagal, not Kathy, Katie. However, there are also people that say I sound like Audrey Meadows, and other people that say that I sound like a multitude of other individuals. I am not Katie Seagal, I am not Audrey Meadows, and I am not Kim Goygan. So therefore, thank you for the laugh, and you are not alone in that scenario, but I am not a famous person. Christine Chambers has left many comments over the last 10 days. I have lost track of the count, but this one I find to be particularly interesting. She states, okay, so these government useful idiots are terrorized by frivolous paperwork. Laugh out loud. Okay, Christine, so let me tell you, when somebody gets irritated with you, all right, and if them getting irritated with you meant that they could go and file a false UCC1 lien against you for $1 million, and that stops you from purchasing a home, and it stops you from purchasing a car, and it stops you from having a credit score that you deserve and rightfully have for yourself. You've you've done all the necessary work that you would need to do in order to have a credit score that you can be proud of, and in one foul swoop, because someone doesn't like what you say, they can file this UCC-1 and stop you dead in your tracks and make you look like you're a terrible risk for someone to provide you a loan. Yes, that is terrorism. That would really mess with your life. In addition, if you go to a job that you have worked, to a job interview that you've worked very, very hard in order to qualify for, and they pull a credit report, and your credit report shows that you owe $1 million that you really don't owe, and therefore they're not going to hire you because you appear to be someone who doesn't take care of your business, yeah, I would say that terrorizes you. But Christine has a lot to say about us government useful idiots, or whatever it is that she's claiming that we are. I find it really funny, you guys, that there are so many people that for some reason believe that we are on the side of the government just simply because we are outing scammers and con artists. It's amazing to me. It's really amazing to me. Here is a good example of someone who just does not know when to quit when it comes to making comments, and their comments are very interesting too, and they like to defend Anna von Reitz. As you guys know, I have proven over and over again that Anna is not a real judge. In reality, I don't believe that she even understands where common law really actually comes from in this country, and it doesn't make a difference one way or another with regards to Christine Chambers, because Christine is so far down the rabbit hole that I have found myself actually having to go back and edit this section now for the third time. It makes me so angry that someone who clearly has so much to say knows so very little about reality in this country. She states here that common law is the law of the land, that we've had common law before the United States bankruptcy of 1933, when the international bankers took over and pressed us into admiralty law, the law of the sea. Now we're being policed and adjudicated as hostile vessels in commerce on the waterways. This party is has really dug themselves into the rabbit hole and is not even coming up for air. They're very condescending, as you see, calling me sweetheart, talking about Babylon money magic and all of these other things. And I find myself getting so incredibly irritated that somebody who has this kind of fortitude to put these types of comments in, clearly has some form of working brain up there, but yet absolutely is refusing to go anywhere other than what she feels serves her agenda, her own agenda, to find out whether what she's saying is real or not. And as we all know, this is part of the problem with the scams that are going on out there. These things are not based in reality, and so therefore, we we have a real serious issue. But again, look at all of the comments. So one of the things that I have been asked about is what is the deal with this ebook thing, and why is it that I am selling an ebook on GoFundMe? Now, look, you guys don't seem to get it, okay? Let me make this absolutely 100% clear to everyone. GoFundMe is a campaign for VirgoTriad.com to get off of YouTube and onto a platform that cannot be so easily stricken down. All right. Donating to GoFundMe is simply that. It is a donation. Unlike most channels who accept a GoFundMe or hang out a beggar's box, I decided that for those that made a specific amount or above in donation, I wanted to give something back to them as a token of gratitude, which is where the ebook comes in. I'm not selling my ebook on GoFundMe. anything that can be said to attempt to try to discredit. It's interesting because if you look at April Legeune's channel, she accepts everything under the sun, from Patreon to donations on her super chats and everywhere else. Okay, but I've never asked for anything in almost a year, and now that there is a real legitimate reason to need a separate platform. And this is not any small platform we're talking about. We're talking about things that are not a possibility anywhere else online for people to go to in order to get assistance with scams, in order to get not just assistance from the standpoint of learning, but also assistance financially for those who have been scammed and people who would need to be able to find a debunking index to find out real information. You know, it's amazing to me with what I'm talking about doing that people are just completely off their rocker, getting upset about, in one way or another, about, well, why is she doing this? Why is she talking about an ebook? I'm talking about my ebook because instead of just selling it like most people would do to make additional money plus the donations, I'm using it as a token of gratitude for those that actually are donating a certain amount or above. I thought that was probably a very nice thing to do versus what most people do, which is just to take and take, take. But regardless, that is my answer to that question. I've had many people ask me that. I'm assuming the majority of those people are coming from the same place that these nasty comments are coming from, but I'm going to address it anyway, just so that everybody is aware. Some more information on behind the scenes of Virgo Triad here. You see we had a small break in between, and then we have Christine Chambers again. And if you go down here, you will see that she's saying there is more than one United States. You need to do some research, Virgo Triad. Shill much? Funny, Christine, but you seem to be the shill here, the shill for Anna Von Reitz. Interestingly enough, though, again, there's just numerous comments. Big time liar, you're a defender of globals and you're a defender of Satanism, you're a defender of the New World Order. Big time liar, you guys. I'm a defender of the globals, defender of Satanism, and defender of the New World Order. No good deed goes unpunished, you guys. And we have a very, very big hill to climb in order to get people to recognize what they have fallen into. Let's take a look at some happier stuff. Here we are over at the GoFundMe campaign for VirgoTriad.com. We've raised $815 so far from 17 people in the last 28 days. I want to thank everyone who has so generously donated and remind everyone that due to the health issue that I experienced over the break that I had, that there is a delay on the ebook coming out till the 25th of September, but it will absolutely be coming out that day, and it will be forwarded to you via email, your ebooks. Also, wanted to mention to those of you who have had questions with regards to the second ebook, which is the special bonus one that is only for the donors that I will be sending out. That is the TDA packages that I've collected over the last year by the con artists that have sold them. That does not mean that I am giving them to you guys to use. These are proven to have been scams. I'm simply showing you the paperwork so that way it demystifies the paperwork. I want for everybody to be aware that this is what the paperwork looks like, and if you see somebody running this scam with this paperwork, you need to avoid it. That is all it is about. It is about nothing else other than that. And for those of you that keep coming to me asking me whether or not I can provide you with assistance on getting into your secret account, please be aware that there is no such thing That is what the Virgo Triad channel does, is debunk that particular scam heavily and all things related to it, including that your birth certificate is monetized and all these other things that go along with that scam. So please, for those of you that are questioning how much I charge and everything else, I have never charged anything for my advice, and I never will. So, end of story there. As far as packages are concerned, I do not sell them. I do not, partake in any of those scams. I debunk those scams. So there is a huge misunderstanding coming from somewhere with regards to that I want to nip in the bud. Okay. Finally, I wanted to discuss one last thing with you guys, and that is that I appreciate everyone who emailed me and everyone who has questions with regards to how they can protect themselves, that they were scammed by April or June, or they were scammed by another party of some sort. I want to let you know right now that I have been off for several days due to personal reasons. Part of that reason is health related. It's going to take me a little bit to get back into the swing of everything, but I will respond to each and every one of you. There have been many that have come forward during the time that I was out, and I want to thank you for being brave enough to do that. Anybody else that wants to talk about anything that is related to any of the scams that I deal with on the Virgo Triad channel, you are always welcome to email me at virgotriad@protonmail.com. I will get back to you as rapidly as possible. I have well over 100 comments to respond to in one way or another, in addition to having about 72 or 3 emails that I need to respond to. So please be patient with me over the next week while I get everybody taken care of. We will get back to basics as of tomorrow. We will go back to our countdown of different fallacies that are out there in the scam world and updates on scams that are going on right now, like the April to June TDA package scam and what is going on in other areas of the anti-scam community that I have not had a chance to discuss with you guys. I'm so glad to be back, and I hope that everyone has the opportunity to listen to this whole video so that you have the chance to actually get updated on what's been going on behind the scenes. I never get a chance to show you guys really much of anything anymore as far as what I'm receiving from a comments or email standpoint. It's become massive, and it is something that is telling us that we definitely need this other platform to speak on so that we can speak freely without the fear of the channel itself being taken down. Information on the GoFundMe account is going to be listed underneath this video, and I am more than happy to answer any questions that anybody has. Please feel free to put them in the comments section, although it may take me a while to get back to you, just because I've got so many to respond to. Or you can email me again, virgotriad@protonmail.com. I'm so glad to be back. I missed all of you, and everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.